Have you ever felt like the world is moving too fast and no matter what you do, you just can't keep up? What if I told you that right now you're standing at the most powerful moment in history and you have more tools to shape your future than any generation before you? Hey, it's Ernest. I've built businesses, coached hundreds, and I'm here to help you see what most people miss. So in the next 12 minutes, I'll show you why you might feel overwhelmed, how we got there, and what can you do right now to take control of your business and your life so you can build something that matters. Let's be real for a second. Being human today can feel overwhelming. We live in an age where more people are healthier, wealthier, and better off than ever before. Yet every single day we are reminded of suffering, inequality, and problems that seem impossible to solve. The world feels divided and many of us feel powerless, surrounded by stories of doom and hopelessness. But here's the thing, the stories we tell ourselves matter. As I like to say, we are the storytelling ape. We make sense of the world through the narratives we share and believe in. Imagine you're playing a video game, yes? And you've just inherited a save file with millions of hours of progress. You didn't have to start from scratch. You get to build on everything that came before. That's where we are today. Our starting conditions are better than ever before. And the world is full of potential. So what if I told you that everything you see around you, every business, every technology, every opportunity is the result of 14 billion years of cosmic evolution? Our story starts nearly 14 billion years ago with the birth of the universe. Over time, energy became matter, matter formed stars, and stars forged the elements that will eventually become everything we know. When stars died, they scattered this material, making way for new stars and planets. On one such planet, Earth, the right conditions allowed lifeless particles to combine and create life. Whether by destiny or by chance, life took hold, evolved, and filled every corner of the planet. So think about your business the same way. You didn't start from scratch. You built, or you're building, on the work of everyone who came before you. The tools, the technology, the knowledge, it's all been handed to you. As I like to paraphrase, we are a way for the universe to know itself. Most people think they are alone in their struggles, but you are part of a story that's been unfolding for billions of years. So ask yourself, what legacy do you want to leave? What story do you want to tell? Now, why do we still feel powerless even though we have more power than ever before? After billions of years, life became more complex. Cells formed, then plants, animals, and fungi. Eventually, one animal looked up at the stars and realized it existed. This was the dawn of humanity. Early humans were just another species, but they developed bigger brains, learned to use fire and tools, and survived by telling stories to make sense of their own world. I remember talking to a client, yes, who felt stuck. He had all the tools, but he couldn't see the bigger picture. Once he realized he was part of such a big story, or as a matter of fact, just simply larger story than himself, everything has changed. Because studies showed that people who see themselves as a part of a larger narrative are more resilient and more likely to take action. Your business is like a ship. You might feel lost at the sea, but you are actually part of a fleet that's been sailing for billions of years. So let's just pause for a second. Look around you. Notice how far you've come and how much further we can go as a fleet, as a team. What if the story you tell yourself is the only thing holding you back? Because about 200,000 years ago, humans as we know them emerged. Life was still harsh, but we were stubborn and always wanted more. We made better tools, preserved knowledge, and progress slowly picked up with speed. Agriculture, villages, temples, civilizations, kingdoms, empires, technology, writing, and science followed. Today, humans have shaped the earth, built cities, split atoms, and even traveled to other worlds. One of my clients was convinced he'd never succeed. Then he changed the story he told himself from "I am not good enough" to "I'm building on the work of giants." His business took off because his perspective on everything he was doing has changed massively. So are you really as stuck as you think? Or are you just telling yourself the wrong story, the wrong narrative? Because most entrepreneurs never question the narrative they are living. They just keep doing what they've been always doing, hoping for a different result, which, logically speaking, doesn't make sense. Even the best entrepreneurs don't just work harder, they rewrite their own story on every single basis, on every single day. They see themselves as a part of something bigger and they act accordingly to that. Now, what if I told you you could change your future just by changing the story you're telling yourself? Here's how. Recognize the story you're living. Challenge the limiting beliefs, reframe your narrative, take action based on your new story. I used to believe that success was all about luck. Then I realized it's about the story that you're telling yourself and the action you take accordingly to that. We are not just the product of our circumstances, but the architects of our future. And I'll be honest with you, there were a lot of times where I have felt like giving up, but every time I questioned my story, found a new path forwards and realized, wait a second, the narrative I'm telling myself right now it's not mine. It doesn't come from me. It comes, for example, from my teachers, from old colleagues of mine, or even from the people I worked with at the job I hated. So cognitive dissonance, yes? You might think you're making bold decisions, but sometimes the stress of entrepreneurship tricks us into rationalizing choices that keep us stuck. The real growth happens when you confront that discomfort head on. So remember, you're part of a story that's been unfolding for billions of years. You have more power and more tools than any generation before you. The story you're telling yourself matters. It shapes your business, your life, and your future. You don't have to feel overwhelmed or powerless. You can rewrite your story, take control of your business, and build a future that matters for you. If you are ready to rewrite your story and build a business that truly reflects your potential, hit the subscribe button and join me on this journey. Want to know the one mindset shift that doubled my clients' booking? Comment below and I share it with you in the next video or even in the comments. And to let you go, as I like to say, the world breaks everyone and afterwards some are strong at the broken places. It's not about avoiding the breaks, it's about learning to rebuild. So remember, you're not alone. Let's keep building together. I see you in the next one.